Hi, I'm Eddie Obeng, and this is How. Daily, I bring you a different people engagement tool, performance enhancement tool, which actually allows you to mold and shape your life much better. Today's is about making sure that you actually succeed. It's a pet called FastGoodCheap, and it's a new world version of something which a lot of you might already know called the Iron Triangle. So let's jump on Cube and I'll show you around and we'll have a look. So welcome to Cube, where, as always, the sun is always shining. Oh, this is Calvin, who works with me on the podcast. So Calvin's here visiting. And let's jump up and see what we've got. Oh, this is the incubator cubicle. This is a great cubicle. It's full of fun. So you've got to, if you're innovating, you've got to have fun. So that's the bicycle on the wall, which can be brought down. Why would you bring it down? Well, basically so that you can sit on it. Okay, so there you go. I bet you've never seen a cubot sitting on a bicycle. There you go. So that's that one. So let's go and do some proper stuff instead of messing around. Where I'd like to take you then is to look at the top mezzanine up here. Why? Because that's why I've set up a little whiteboard for us. Normally, this would be where you discuss things like the innovation funnel. But today, we're going to discuss Fast, Good, Cheap. So what do we have? If you know my work, you'll know that one of the things I talk about is the new world versus the old world. Basically, the idea is very simple. The pace of change is accelerated upwards. At the same time, our ability to learn has stayed relatively flat because you're stuck in systems, you have monthly meetings and so on. So at some stage in the past 20, 30 years, we flipped from being able to learn faster than the world changes to the world changing faster than we can learn. Why is that important? Because when the world was slower, when we could learn faster than the world was changing, if you were going to change something, do a project, do a program, run a strategy, you go, right, when we've done our strategy, we'd have spent all this money and we expect this amount of money to come back. Oh, and we have to finish it at this particular time so that everything works. Oh, and we have to make sure the customers or the users or the outliers are happy with it. So it must have a certain quality and then we'll get all the money. So a very simple idea was put forward by a chap called Martin Barnes. And I was going to get a photograph of him, but I forgot. And Martin basically suggested that we have this thing called the Iron Triangle. And the Iron Triangle is a very simple idea, which is we'll try and make things, when we start, we'll define success as something being fast, good, and cheap. Okay, so let's see. Have I got Martin Barnes? I've got a picture. Yeah, there you go. I'll find a picture of Martin. I told you. Well, there you go. This Martin is a great guy. Unfortunately, oh, what a horrible picture. And that's better. Unfortunately, he's passed away, but he was absolutely brilliant. So everyone works with this idea called the fast, good, cheap. But the problem is the world is accelerated. It can change faster than you can learn. One of the things that does is it means that sometimes when you come to do something, you're not sure about the goals or the method. So it's hard to define fast, good, and cheap. But what you're often aware of is you have to get it done before your competitors. You have to get it done so that maybe you pivot and people can actually think it's good enough and you can try to make sure it works. You have to get it done with relatively less money going out than comes in. So in all change, I talk about what I call fast, good, and cheap. So instead of using time, cost, and quality, we focus instead on being fast, being good, and being cheap. That's the wrong way around. That's always funny. Okay, now why is that important? Because not only do we have to change the words, which is what a lot of consultants do without any ideas, the idea behind this is that you now need to think about how you drive your project, your change, your strategy through in a different way. And the way which you drive it through depends on what I call the center of gravity of the change you're trying to do. And that influences everything from the decisions you make right the way through to whether you spend money or not. So here's a couple of examples, and I'll use them to explain. You know how every time you have an Olympics, and I think this is from the like 1920s Olympics or something, that's a stadium. Okay, whenever you have an Olympics, usually it overruns on cost. It's usually on time. You have the opening ceremony on time. Sometimes they don't paint the last bits 3 or 4 times to make sure they're perfect. In other words, the correct answer for Olympic Stadium is you're not going to be late. So it's very close to this fast bit. You got to get there on time, okay? You can't have holes in the track, so it's probably good. And so what suffers is always cheap. So the center of gravity for an Olympics stadium is probably about here. That's the center of gravity. Now, if you ask the government who's sponsoring it, they'll go, we don't want you to overrun on costs. If you ask the IOC who are organizing it, they say, we want all three. Are you with me? So if you're the leader of the situation, what you have to do is persuade the others that actually this is the correct answer. The center of gravity is where the correct answer is. So that would be something like the Olympics. At the moment, we're in 2026 and we're going through a war in Iran. And so if you think about war in Iran and imagine you are the person running it, what do you want? You want success in the war. But if you're the president who's running it, you don't want it to last too long because you've got the midterms coming up. So what happens is, the midterms are coming up. So the president is probably thinking, I want to get it over and done with, and I'll spend as much money as I can to try to make it happen. So for him, the center of gravity is probably about here. For those of us who are watching a war, we're all going, don't do a war. We don't want a war. We don't spend anybody. We want people to die. So we're probably over here, and so on and so forth. So again, even with a war, you could probably use this process. You've probably got an AI rollout in your organization. And the AI rollout, everyone's panicking about AI, and they're not even worried whether it works or not. So if you think about it, if you were thinking about it, you go, I want the best AI on the planet, and I don't want to bankrupt my company. Let's take time to make it happen. So you would probably say the AI must be good, because if you have wrong AI, it could kill you. So you're probably up here. Your CEO needs to show the investors that he's doing something. So he's out here somewhere. Your CIO needs to show the CEO that he's doing something. So he's out here, he doesn't get what he spends. So somehow you've got to persuade them all that the correct answer is here. And every decision which happens within any of these strategies or projects, you put through this. This action I'm taking, will it help me be good to the ahead of being fast and cheap? And if the answer is no, you probably shouldn't do it. So actually, Fast, Good, Cheap not only allows you to understand how to negotiate with people so they understand success is what you think it is, but also to make all the decisions within the session. So that's it, really. Fast, Good, Cheap. The model, when we're looking at it as a whole, includes a second part, which is about soft success criteria. Why? Because if you've ever had work done on your house, the first time round, you worry about, is it fast, is it good, will it work, etc. But if the workman stomps all over your carpets, makes them all muddy, makes a lot of noise and a mess, you never go near them again. Okay, so what's actually important, especially the second time round, and if you're involved in the project, as opposed to looking for the results, are the soft things. How did I feel? Did it make me happy? And so on. And soft success criteria are the other half of the game. But for now, I just want you to focus on the hard success criteria. And later, we'll talk about the soft success criteria when we talk about stakeholders. So that's me. I've been Eddie Obeng. I've explained to you Fast, Good, Cheap. You can go out now and make good decisions on everything you're working on, the best decisions, because you understand the center of gravity. And make sure you look at the quick guide. Do subscribe to the newsletter. Bring your friends along, especially your line managers and your bosses and your colleagues and your partners. Why? Because they need to understand about the center of gravity also, because it will make your life much easier.